Peter Obi decries underutilization of northern resources, calls for agricultural and educational revolution. Now, I don't even want to go here. I think there was a conference. I don't know if it's a conference of political opposition leaders or whatever. I think which state was that? Is it in Kaduna? Was that conference held in Kaduna or which state? That all the political opposition leaders were there. I don't know if Rufai was there too, but I think I watched the clip. I saw so many, including Atiku, the whole who is who in the opposition was there actually. So and that's where Peter Obi spoke about this.
I think that took place in Abuja.
Oh, Abuja, okay.
Took place in Abuja.
All right. Now the thing is, Peter Obi has been singing. This is one of the reasons why I had an issue with a friend, a Hausa Fulani friend, prior to 2023 election about this Peter Obi thing. And I became so mad at him. In fact, that caused our serious disagreement that has not recovered up to date, because he failed to. I tried to let him understand what Peter Obi is a better choice for the North than any other Northerner. Then he was a better choice for the North, because Peter Obi kept hammering. He was the only candidate as at then in the history of political campaigns in Nigeria that other politicians have done it in the past, but in a very vague manner. But Peter Obi has hammered. He laid very strong emphasis and focus on these agricultural resources in the North, and promised to aggressively deal with it should he be elected. And that was about the foundation of his his policy, campaign policy. Yet the North voted against him, and this was why I had issue with this guy. A learned, very learned person, but he seemed to prefer religion than doing the right thing. And this is somebody that I expected to be an exposed person, but yet he refused to see that part of Peter Obi. Rather, he chose to go with Bola Tinubu, this corrupt system. And Barrister, Peter Obi has been doing this for years, and he's still saying what he's saying. Yet the Northerners seem not to be listening. Of course, if they didn't listen in 2023, what do you think is the reason why the Northerners are not listening to a clarion call like this, to actually take focus away from the oil, from Niger Delta oil, and focus, have an inward look at yourself and ask yourself, why is this thing just lying fallow for decades? We are not utilizing our own resources. Like I said, the North has what it takes to actually feed a very substantial part of Africa. Yet we are not utilizing that resource. The North is not utilizing. Everybody, the whole Northern elite, they're just focused on just cheap wealth. Just go get oil block, go to the national level and loot the Nigeria resources instead of using what you have to make money or whatever. Because if North can actually utilize the agricultural resources that God has blessed them with, honestly, they can compete. They can compete with oil. Because look, Nigeria, for God to bring, Nigeria is supposed to be a perfect country. A perfect country. The North feeds the nation. The East industrializes the nation. The West educates the nation. The South funds the nation. For God's sake, this is supposed to be a very perfect marriage. Even though there is no perfect marriage, in Nigeria's case, we are supposed to have a perfect marriage, Barrister. How perfect could Nigeria have been more than what it is right now? Like I said, the North is supposed to be feeding the nation. That should be the plan. The North is supposed to be feeding the nation. The East is supposed to be industrializing the nation. The West is supposed to be educating the nation. The South side is supposed to be funding the nation. And when I say the North, including Middle Belt, because Middle Belt, in fact, they bear the chunk of the agricultural. In fact, right now, Middle Belt they are the ones actually leading in agriculture. They are the ones actually utilizing a portion of the northern resources. Barrister.
Yes, there is what we call complacency in easy money. When you are getting easy money, you become complacent. The hard work that you need to do to make the real money is no longer there, because every month money comes like manna from heaven and drops in your front, and you take it and you. What is the encouragement to go and dig up, do hard work to make money? But the North has three advantages over the rest of the country. They have cheap labor in their millions.
Yeah.
Cheap labor. They shipped, all these people are shipped every day by trailers to Port Harcourt, to Lagos, to go and work as security guards, to go and work as nail cutters, to go and work as just any type of menial jobs. This can be redirected to agriculture. The North has vast agricultural arable land. That's the second. The North has vast mineral resources. Look, the amount of minerals today, the need that you can invest in Nigeria today, the mining sector is climbing up. The rate at which it is going, nobody knows whether it will eventually take over the oil sector. But the rate at which people are investing in mining is so high and so fast. These three areas, the North has advantage over the rest of the country. But the hard work that is involved in this is not there, because the cheap money of monthly money coming from the federal government is there. So everybody takes, they go and eat and wait for the next month. That is why I continue saying, devolve more power, make the regions compete. Everybody go back and re-examine your region, see what you can best do and contribute, rather than this national cake, direct sharing of national cake every month, cut this and give this, cut this and give that one. Let's devolve. The money coming, a good chunk of it should go to where it is coming. Everybody will sit up. The North will exploit its agriculture. It will exploit its mineral resources. On top of they will even export cheap labor to other regions. So no region in Nigeria is bereft of something to hang on. God has made it that way, that we can all survive. It is our laziness that is keeping us in the condition we are today. Now, when you come to Peter will be calling for the utilization of the vast agricultural resources in the North, you have to also understand that in the context of things now, if the people of the North, represented by the state governors, for now, do not want to do that, are not sold on that idea, then no matter how you talk, no matter how you shout, it's not going to achieve anything. That work should come from the state governors in the North. But they are not, they are not bothered about that. They talk at symposium, they talk, they will do agree. When they want to contest, they talk, tell you they are going to improve agriculture. When they come in, they also sit back and wait for the monthly allocation from the federation account. They hardly do what they are supposed to do to improve the lot of their people. So you can shout and shout, but if the people of the North themselves do not want to do that which they need to do, then you are only wasting your breath.
Yeah, but
even if you are the president, you must need the cooperation of the Northerners.
No, now listen. Look. Honestly, I understand where Peter Obi is coming from. Now, let me be frank with you. I disagree with you on this. That even if you are the president, look, the president, if the president can wield that much power to influence governors of various states to actually either influence them or coerce them. Relatively, it depends on how you want to view it. Influence or coerce them to actually do something that you want as a president. Of course, you can influence them. I honestly, for Peter Obi, the way he's so passionate about this, actually reviving the agricultural resources, the utilization of our agricultural resources in the north, the way he's so passionate about it, if that man were to be president, honestly, he will either convince or coerce, persuade, or coerce the governors of this respect. And I agree with you. The power lies, because when it comes to agriculture is a grassroots thing. So I agree with you that it has to do with the governors and local government officials, chairmen. But the truth is, if the government are indifferent, the governors rather are indifferent to do this, the state government, for the sake of national unity and growth, because if the North utilizes their resources well, it will reduce the pressure on the federation account. That's just the reality. It will reduce the dependence on oil, federal dependence on oil, federal dependence on solid minerals, sort of, and at least agricultural, because obviously if whatever they do, a certain amount eventually, just like what we have in derivation, oil derivation. Of course, the government, the federal government will also have derivation on agriculture. So it will benefit both sides, but it will benefit the three arms of the three what do you call it? Three arms of government: the state, local, and the federal level. It will benefit the three of them. So what we need is a president with the will, with the passion to actually drive that, just like Peter Obi. So if we have such president, I bet you the president will actually force the governors to stand up to their responsibilities.
I also agree with that. I'm not saying that he can be totally helpless, but you know the way these people operate. If you are the president and you now call the northern governors, what is happening to agriculture in your state? And they will say, we want the federal government to come and invest in agriculture, bring the federal government money, come and do projects. They are ready for that. They will be ready to even give land. But for them themselves to take the initiative.
Yeah, but because there's no quick money there.
That is it. There's no quick money. For them themselves to take the initiative to do that, they will not. But they say, okay, federal government, come and establish, we are going to give you as much land as you want. Come and establish a school of agriculture. Come and establish even farms, whatever you want. But let it be money from the federation you come and use. For them to sit down, search for funds, do these things, they are not ready for that. That is the level I was talking about. And when you start using a good chunk of federal funds in one region, other people will also raise a cry. Yeah. That you must also do something. That's the limitation I was trying to explain.
All right. Thank you so very much. I think this brings us to the end of the show today. For those of you who are watching us or who are still here with us, thank you for being here up to this moment. And we've been having a very robust conversation with Barrister Austin Manta, a very senior legal practitioner, a public affairs analyst, a very good one at that. And if you have not subscribed to this platform, please do subscribe to our platform and follow us on all. We are on all social media platforms. So follow us on all the social media platforms, the same name, Woleke TV. That is it. And this show is JIBRIN Angle. This is a show, a podcast where we just say it the way it is. And that is it. Thank you once again for joining us. Barrister, Thank you as
Yes.
always. You've always been forthcoming in all ramifications. You've always been so honorable to us. Thank you. We appreciate it so much.
It's always my pleasure to be on this show.
All right. Thank you, viewers. See you again next time and remain blessed.